What gives me the right to stand up in front of you today, okay? I want to tell you who I am. I'm a banker. Oh my God. That usually gets a laugh out of the crowd, okay? I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm a grief counselor. I support women in business. That's my day job. I'm a presenter. I'm a YouTube junkie, okay? I was, past tense, I was broken. I was grieving. I am shaking. Holy moly. Was it the banana? Okay. And this all happened 6 years ago, okay? And I am no different than you. I reached out and I went to the healing centers and I sat next to the person who just lost her mother, and we went to centers, we went to places, Reiki, sound healing, meditation. You could come to my house if you need to, New Age section, Barnes & Noble, okay? I have every book, I've read everything. But more importantly, because of my grief, because like you, 6 years ago, my daughter was killed on the way to school with her grandmother, okay? So that's their journey. Mine started the day she left. So what we know about death is our sad truth, right? When one thing ends, back to that deep breath, another has to begin, okay? So we know that to be our truth. So to get a sense of the room, a show of hands, how many people are 0 to 6 months in their grief? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people are a year? Okay. Less than a year, nice. 2 to 3 years maybe? Okay. 5 years, 6 years? Okay. Okay, thank you. And it goes on, right? So, and it goes on. We just saw that in that amazing movie. Are you here for yourself or a loved one? Raise your hands. Loved one, self, self? Okay, thank you. And have you sought out an intuitive, a medium, a healer? Have you sought out those people? Okay, yay. And have you had your own connection? Those, visits, those dreams, those encounters like we heard in the movie? Okay, yay, good sense of the room, okay. So that just gives me a sense of where we are. Okay, so let's start this. 1:30, I got to stop talking so we can get into our meditation in the workshop. Okay, so go like this to me, people, if you see me talking over. Okay, so let's start with one of our truths. You have to say this out loud with me. It's the first one. Beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. Esther and Jerry Hicks. So we're going to say this all out loud together, and there's a reason. So let's just say it together. Beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. Beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. Close your eyes and say it. Beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. Number 4, beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. One more, 5. Beliefs are just thoughts that I am thinking. Okay, open your eyes. Seems so simple, doesn't it? Why did I have you say it 5 times? Do not forget that. Okay? Beliefs are just thoughts that you were thinking. So today, my idea, or my hope, or my intention, and my prayer for you is that you stay open enough, just enough, a little bit of a door, to imagine that some of the beliefs that I believe that have been channeled to me through spirit, through many of your loved ones, okay, from the other side, are my truths, and I'm here to share them with you. Okay, so let's talk about the naysayers. Years ago, they thought the world was flat. Okay, and out we went into this experience. Imagine what it was like to live in that period where we thought the world was flat. Don't drive too far over, right? Think of how limiting it seems to think that the world was flat. Well, I think it was a guy, Columbus, that said maybe the world is round. And he probably stood in a room much like this and said his belief, and everyone thought he was crazy, right? Or they discounted it. They didn't believe his theory. And this guy was relentless in what he believed because he knew it had to be round. And so our experience of it being round shifted, didn't it? And so here we are today. So I'm going to use that metaphor a couple times. Please imagine that what I'm about to tell you is the world is round. Just imagine, and I'm here to expand you. Now maybe you already believe this, so here's the cool thing. If you're sitting in a chair and everything I'm about to say to you, you say, got that? Yay, you're already doing the work. And I'm doing my work, and you can call that affirmation. Are you with me? Okay. Are you with me? Yeah. All right, okay. So, before we get into it, oh yeah, my daughter. I do not use the word lost. I know where my daughter is. Some of you might not know where yours is. My daughter is not missing. I know exactly where she is. I spend all my time with her. She's helping me today. That's my belief. You don't have to take that one on. That's just one that gets me through the day, okay? So I want to share with you, I didn't always have these beliefs, okay? So I wanted you to know that I used to believe that everything I love, I lost. Let me say that again. Everything I love, I lost. 7 old boyfriends. They used to call me the kiss of death, the Black Widow. Coincidentally enough, they all died in a row, unfortunately. Okay, 2 children, not 1. We're only acknowledging 1 today. 2. Okay, lots of loss. Started very young, my first love. Okay, so I believed and I walked through my life like this. Well, everything I love, I lose. Everything I love, I lose. And you know what? My life shaped that truth. Ooh, there's my daughter. Did anyone get a buzz? Okay, me too. So then, through my healings, and I won't tell you how I got there, it was actually in a hypnosis, okay? I found out that that was not true, that everything I love lives on. So the next day I took a step and I said, wow, love lives on because it's in my heart, and so I don't lose everything I love lives on, and guess what? No more fear. It vanishes. That's my truth. Does that sound like a better truth? For the parents in the room that have lost 2 children, holy moly, right? That was really dig down and find that one, right? You're going to live in fear of everything you love. Do you remember the love you have for your loved ones? Would you say, you know that expression, better to love than loved at all? Or it's the love story, right? Okay. Do you really think that it's better not to love? My gosh, would you say that you would diminish the love that you had for your children just so you wouldn't feel that pain? Hell no, right? Okay, good. We need to stay up today in our workshop when we get into our meditation, because here's how hard they have to work to come down to speak to us. Okay, grief, despair, sorrow, it sits somewhere around the floor, and it's hard to pick up. You can dust it up, actually. Joy, love, appreciation, it's the highest vibration out there, and it's jacked up. And on the other side, where love and appreciation are very much present, okay? It's even a higher vibration. There's no limit to that. So love and appreciation is the absolute highest vibration. So they have to work really hard to come down, and we have to try to stay up today. So that's how we meet in the middle. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Everything, thank you. Everything lines up in the energy of love. So when we're living in the energy of love and we're doing things that are involved in the energy of love, everything lines up. Does that make sense? When we want to stay and have things come our way, just get in the energy of love, people. It goes, whoosh, it just comes your way. Everything is alignment when it's in alignment of love. Hope is the bridge. Who were we just talking in the hallway with about hope? Okay, she chose to go to the other workshop, okay? Hope is the bridge. So let's talk about hope for 1 second. It's the beginning. So think of grief, despair, sorrow, heartache, anger, frustration, all on one side of the room. And then see hope. Once we step into hope, maybe I can do this, okay? Oh, I think I can make it, okay? When we step into hope, we begin our process of getting to the other side. Okay, don't hurry that process along, people. Okay, don't hurry that along. But when you get to hope, know that you're in the beginning of it. Hope is not the end. Hope is just the beginning. And think about the word hope. It's a vibration. Okay, it's somewhere in the middle for me. Okay, it's kind of like leaving the hospital. I didn't leave the hospital okay. I left the hospital, I'm going to be fine. I had to go home, right? We all did. So it was the beginning. Something else was going to happen. So hope is the bridge. And then love and appreciation are the highest vibration, both in the physical and on the other side. So you just have to know that. Joy and gratitude have and hold the same energy, but it's a step before love and appreciation. Before that, there's all, love and anger, hope and sorrow. They're all things that tie up, balance and boundaries. Certain things have same energies. These two, limitless. Same energy. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah. So you go. I know, I'm a little animated, aren't I? Okay.
We love you.
Thank you. Okay. So, my first story is a pretty important one. And it's the one that I know. So people go, well, what was your experience? I have many experiences of visits and connections with my daughter, okay? But I'm going to tell you one that was pretty hard to discount, okay? And it's the story of my daughter's moon, called Isla's moon. So here, I have to say I go to a party. It's a Tupperware party, jewelry party. And I see my daughter's best friend's mother. And she's standing on the other side of the room, and she's like dreading seeing me, right? She's, oh, you know those people, right? Those people who don't have any idea what the hell to say to you or how to say it, and it's their shit, right? So sorry, I swear. It's their shit, right? So you see her, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to go over there and make this right for her. Okay, so I find my way over to her. Have you ever been in this situation? Okay, I'm coming, I get close to her, and I go, how are you? Oh, good. I go, it's okay. I'm okay. I want you to know I'm okay. I'm getting through. It's hard. Sucks. How's Alyssa? I go, God, you're kind of looking at me weird, right? And she goes, because she was. She goes, I'm kind of freaked out that I'm seeing you. And I go, why? She goes, well, I was just getting into the car, and my daughter came running out to the car, and she said, don't leave. And the woman said, I'm going to go. I'm at a jewelry party, a Tupperware party. I'm on my way. I'm late. And she said, just give me a second. I just wrote a poem, and you got to hear it, Mommy. Okay? And the mother was like, I can't. She went into a temper tantrum. So the mother took the second to be late and listen to the poem, and here it is. If you are up, oh, I can't tell you yet. Sorry. I just got stopped. Okay. So the woman looks at me, and she says, can I email you the poem tomorrow? It's just that simple. Okay? I go, sure. Great idea. Party goes on. Got to work the next day, pull up my email, and there it is, the poem, okay? Back to my place. If you are up at 9:30, when the moon is up in the starlit sky, you will know why the moon is there, to shine a bright, glittery trail. To a place where happiness is all there is, no wars, no guns, no need to fight, that's the place I'll be tonight. So when I saw this, there's my daughter, by the way. You feel that? Okay? I went, oh my God, it's the moon. So now I have to tell you the moon story, okay? My daughter was conceived underneath the full moon. And she knew this, and I knew this, okay? And so she would look at the moon, she'd go, tell me the moon story, Mom. Oh, Isla, God, the day we decided to have you, that's the day, We prayed that night, and you came, and the moon, okay? She happened to be buried underneath the full moon. So beautiful, beautiful poem, but, for me, okay? But not really when I finish telling you the rest of the story. So I see it, I go, well, I can't stop there. People don't stop there, okay? I got on the internet, I'm like, when's the next full moon? August 9th. Exactly 10 years earlier, the day she was conceived. That moon. So I mark it in my calendar, and life goes on. 3-4 weeks later, I'm driving down the road, and it hits me. August 9th, cool beans. So I text my boyfriend. Look outside. It's got to be out there. Isla's moon, okay? I come around the corner in the interstate in Milton, and there is the most magnificent moon I have ever seen in my life. It had a huge halo around the outside of it. It was on national news, okay? Because the northern lights somehow affected its sphere. I don't know. I can't tell you. It was amazing. So I pulled off the side of the road, called my girlfriend real quick, who's a photographer, and said, get the hell outside and take a picture of that moon. And I'll explain it all when I get home. So she did. I sat there, and this is what I said. And I hope you say this when you have those connections, because they love attention, okay? Thank you, sweetie. I see. I know. I love it. I got it. I appreciate it. I'm happy too. I'll never forget. Thank you. And we pulled back on the road. We, okay? Isn't that interesting? I just said we. And I drove home. When I got home, I called my girlfriend. And I said, hey, sorry about that, but did you get the picture? She says, do me a favor. Will you look at the time you called? It was 9:30, okay? So, if you are up at 9:30, When the moon is up in the starlit sky, you will know why the moon is there. She knew, I knew. This is a really important story, people. To shine a bright, glittery trail, what 8-year-old writes that? Glittery trail. To a place where happiness is all there is, no wars, no guns, no need to fight. That's the place I'll be tonight. Now here's what's so amazing about this. Please don't see Isla's moon as my moon and discount it for yourself. Karen McFeeters wrote this story and wrote this song for me, and you can get this song, and I want you to see that moon as your moon. This is my daughter's message. And everything in changing and transition with the moon, right? One thing we know about transition is that it's forever changing. So how is it that this little girl could tell me a month earlier, channel a poem, and she's a channeler, I'm working with her right now, she's amazing. How could she tell me this? And then what, time? Like, we're caught up in the linear thing here, right? We understand time. How many years has it been since your grief? 0 to 6 months, 5 or 2. People, that's our shit again, okay? For them, it's just all the same. And they let us know in this metaphor. Are you okay with me saying that? Okay. Does that bring comfort to anybody? Okay, I hope so. Okay, so we're going to get into beliefs before we get into our meditation. I'm doing really good for time. Okay. We're going to talk about the other side, and we're going to talk about the ground rules for our meditation. Because I want you to get the best bang for your buck because you're here today. And my workshop is about connecting two spirits and connecting that connection. It isn't to just happen here so that next year you got to come back and make that connection again. That's not my intention. My intention is that I give you a couple little tips and things to know so that you can make that connection whenever you want. Okay? This is my truth. So crossing over, that transition, okay? So they don't pop out of their body and sit on a Philly cream cheese cloud with wings and they're there in 1 second, okay? There is a process called transition that when they cross over, they have to go through, okay? So they work their way there. If people have died that are sick, it could be a slower process, okay? If people have died suddenly, like my daughter who was catapulted out of the car, she came to me in a visit and said it took her a while to realize she was gone because it happened so suddenly, okay? I can speak specifically to you how your loved one transitioned if you'd like me to, but never in a crowd, okay? So I just want you to know that there is a period of transition when they cross, okay? And again, these things have been explained to me through my readings. Okay, so I have to kind of look around the room and gauge that from people, okay? It is not my information, it's the way it's been explained to me. I've done 600 readings in the comfort of my home. I have never taken a penny for this work. I think it's God's work. I just get the information, I process it, I say it the way I think I'm hearing it, and I teach it in forums like this, okay? If nothing I say resonates with you, then that's totally okay. I'm not asking you to follow me as a leader, okay? I'm just offering. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah. Life review. Has anyone ever heard of the word life review? Okay, we have, right? Give me the name, wait for it. Raymond R. Moody. Near-death experiences. He's the pioneer in it. I've actually studied with this man, okay? He talks about life reviews, follow the tunnel, seeing your loved ones, okay? Here's what I want you to know, and again, to get the best bang for your buck when you're making the connection, okay? Don't ask questions that they would have received in their life review. So I'm going to use you as an example. Do you mind? Okay. So you and I have a contract. You're my sister, okay? We've had an amazing life. You were upset with me twice, whatever, okay? When she goes to cross, she is given that, all that. You feel all my love, good, bad, or indifferent. All those experiences are just given to you like this. Okay? They're yours. Anything that is positive, good, loving, kind, supportive, learning, gets to go to the other side. Anything that's around the energy of hate, anger, okay, guess what? Check it in like the airport. It's not welcome. It can't be checked in. It's not welcome. It's not divine enough to get to the other side. So there's this filter that actually happens. I use the example of a metaphor of the plane because it's a great example. Not everything can go on for carry-on, right? check it in, luggage, baggage, okay? That baggage can stay here in the physical where it just rots earth. And there's a lot of baggage here, isn't there? So when you go to spend time with your loved one on the other side, okay, and oh yeah, another really important thing, no one has ever, and they always ask the same question. First question I get asked is there anything you want to know? Yes. What's that, sweetie? Can you just let me know they're okay? Can you just let me know they're happy? Okay, do not waste your energy today asking that question to them, okay? They are so okay. Okay, I can't make that up, okay? I can't find a way that they're not okay. If you're feeling like, well, they must miss me, don't get mad. That's your shit, okay? They do, and I'm not saying they don't miss you, okay? But they don't long for you like you long for them in the physical because they're where they are, and it's all pure and beautiful. Again, my beliefs, okay? So when you go to spend time with your loved one, please don't ask those questions that would have involved that energy that doesn't serve us. And please don't ask questions like, how you doing? Okay, don't waste your time. Are you okay with me saying that? Okay, yeah. Okay, filters, number one question. I'm making sure I'm getting everything. Okay, they can only offer you love and support. That's the only thing that they can bring through. They can't tell you where the keys are and when the estate's going to be settled, okay? And where they hid the papers to mom's, will. They can't. They don't care. Sorry. Again, that's yours, okay? But they can offer you love and support. And in fact, that's what they're here to do. Not just today, but every day, okay? I think we're good. I think we're really good. Okay. We are going to leave enough time to ask questions regarding the other side. So do you guys feel like, is there any questions you want to ask before we get into the meditation? And I'm going to explain what we're going to do in the meditation in a minute. But does anyone go, I can't do the meditation unless I know this? Does anybody have a question? Are you good? No one dares to ask. Once somebody asks, it's all over. Okay.
We're good.
We're good. Okay, here's what we're going to do for the meditation. I'm going to find some music. We're going to close our eyes. You're going to listen to my voice, and I'm going to guide you. Has anyone ever meditated before? Can you raise your hand? Okay. So people who don't meditate, number one reason and way to connect with your loved one, start a meditation practice. And if you say, I don't even know what meditation means, there's a bazillion ways that you can go out through iTunes and there's millions of different meditation tapes out there. But if you want to connect with loved ones, I suggest you start a meditation practice. And if you're that naysayer who says, well, every time I try, I fall asleep, I go, yay. Okay, because when you sleep, you get into that subconscious state, and you might think you're sleeping, but all that stuff's getting downloaded, right, in that beautiful space of subconscious. Okay, so that's why it's called a meditation practice, okay? So I'm going to be your first experience today. If you've never meditated, you're about to meditate, okay? So we're going to do that. And remember all the beliefs we just talked about. I want you to, I'm going to just start. Are we good? Yes, please.
Do you feel like people who are in spirit are always accessible, or are they sometimes preoccupied with other things?
Great question. Absolutely, completely accessible 24/7. If they're with you, doesn't mean they're not with God. Doesn't mean you're keeping them away from starving kids in Ethiopia. You know what I mean? So they're totally accessible. Remember, we have a physical body. We know that if I'm at work, I can't be home. If I'm with my husband, I can't be with my boyfriend. I'm kidding. Okay? Just see it if you're paying attention. Okay, Michael. That'll be on video, right? Damn. Anyway, we have a physical body, right? So we know we can't be in two places at a time, right? Spirit can be in 1,000 spaces, right? Because think of your love and all the love you have for everybody that's in your experience. Okay, I'm loving one child now. No, I'm loving my mother. Oh, hold on, there's my father. Okay, does it work that way for us? Hell no, right? It's all over the place. And so were they in spirit. So great question. Any questions before we meditate?
When I sat down, I felt something tapping on my right hip.
Okay.
And I said to Linda, I feel like something's trying to get my attention. And we both weren't sure what to do with it, so we made a little space for it. But
Okay. I think there might be a surprise underneath your chair, but let's see. Don't look yet. Don't look yet.
Do I
Stay in your chair. Okay, so let's start so we have time for questions and answers. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes because I want this to be your own experience. Close your eyes. You are in the absolute best place. You might have been in a bad place this morning, but you're in a better place now. We've spent the whole day surrounded by other people's grief, by the amount of love. Think about the love that is in this room, that is in that workshop, that is out there. Think about the love that you have for that spirit, that loved one. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to call on them. And I want you to pay attention. If you've had 2 children, they might both show up together. You might be calling on your son, but your mother steps forward. I don't want you to control this, people. I want you to allow the process of that loved one who's ready to show themselves to you to come forward for you and only you. And just in your mind's eye, imagine that person in front of you. And here's the great news. See them at their best. If they were dying of cancer or an illness when they left you, or struggling in any way with an addiction, they have shed their physical body and those ailments have left them. They're beautiful. They're pure. They're of the light. They're in the light. Nothing but love and support. And there they are in all their beauty, flawless in all their ways, perfect and divine. And just enjoy their energy for a second. Fill them up in your heart. They haven't left. They're just visiting. They've never left. This isn't new. But you're sharing and spending that energy and that time. If their spirit was sarcastic, they're sarcastic. If that spirit was serious, they're still serious. They have not shed their spirit, just their physical body. So the essence of who they are is very much present and around you. Okay. I'm looking around the room and many of you have that face of a connection, so I'm going to move on, but just hold them very close and safe to where they are, which is in your energy and in your aura. And all I want you to do for a second is not push in any way, but just ask them to kind of move to the side. I want them to be present with you, but just to the side, almost to the back burner for a second. Now I want to go back to you. I want to go to what's immediate and around you, for you, and only you. And again, you might have came here ready to ask a question, but something else very different is showing up right now. What's the thing that's waking you up? Hey, if you could talk to an intuitive or a medium and you think they have the answers, okay? It's not them, it's you. Here's that opportunity for that question. Pull up the energy of that question. And here's the good news. If you can't find the words, let it go. They can feel it in a moment. They know what you need. It's instant download, okay? We're the ones who think we need to speak. They're the ones who are connected through feeling. We think we need the language, we don't. Just feel what it is that you want to know. In that space and in that energy, be with that moment. Okay. When you feel that both are present, I want you to very beautifully turn to your loved one that has shown themselves to you and invite them closer to your energy field and closer to what you're going through and closer to that question, and just simply say, state, or be, and in your own beautiful way, have that connection with them. And please be in a position to receive, because you are about to receive information from them, and they have a lot to say. If you're not getting anything at this moment, you're too busy in your grief, it's okay. You can come back later. You can do this on your own time when you're in a safer space. This is totally accessible and access for you. So there you are, in this beautiful download of your situation into your loved one. Offer it up to them now. Have that conversation. Enjoy your moment. Be all that it can be in the best of both of you. Filter any negative energy. That's yours, not theirs. Okay. And as that downloads to you, whether you're hearing it or not, you're receiving it, trust me. This is just a moment. There's many more to come. I want you to say to them that whatever they've just given you, you've received. Basically, thank you, love and appreciation for it. This is just a moment. There'll be many more now that you've learned how to access. This is a beautiful moment. Thank them for the information. Thank them for the experience. And in your own mind's eye, I want you to not push them. I just want you to tell them that it's time for them to go back. Go back and out of your field, because it's time that you step forward and be with me again. They're not leaving you forever. This is just a moment. They're stepping back. They're stepping back. You're stepping forward. You're stepping forward. And when you're ready, and you've had your moment, and you're feeling called, come back into the room and open your eyes when you're ready. Everyone is safe. Okay. Woo. Okay. So would anyone like to share? Okay. Any experiences that they had? What I would like to use, because it's in workshop format today, I would love for you guys to take the opportunity to share with each other or ask questions in an open format about what we just talked about what we experienced. Can we learn? We know we have a great audience here. It's called each other, okay? And there's things in the room and questions that if I can't answer, other people can. So would anyone be brave enough to share their experience, or is it too personal and they want it to be their own? I'll take it. And again, cameras will not roll on you. It's just more to share.
Well, your Isle of Moon story was amazing.
Thank you.
There was a strawberry moon this week. I don't know if anybody knows
Yeah.
that.
June 15th,
It
maybe?
was called the strawberry moon, and it was amazing. And when Jason was little, he had trouble sleeping. And in 6th grade, he asked me if he could have sleeping pills, because he was always, it was harder for him to sleep around the full moon.
Yeah.
So the moon has been a part of his life for a long time.
Okay.
So when he died in January, we stayed at our son's for a couple more weeks. We had a lot of things to finish up. And we woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was this amazing full moon shining on my husband and I through this one window.
Nice.
And we just both hugged each other and felt Jason so much.
Nice.
And
Nice.
this week my husband says it's a strawberry moon. Well, I had never heard of strawberry moon. But just now, one eye shed a tear. And it was Jason coming down.
Nice. Nice.
And then this eye shed a tear. And it was Brian coming down.
Nice.
And they both connected and came down to my heart.
Nice. Thank
So
you.
that was my experience.
Thank you.
with this.
Thank you.
And my other son was a heart donor, so it's kind of like weird. It's not weird.
No, never weird.
I'm not quite as bad as you are, but oh boy. I want your energy and I'm going to get it.
Too funny. You know, when I first started this, if you're part of this cult, get rid of it, okay? I know this is going to sound crazy. You know, here we are walking around having these amazing connections with our loved ones, or soon to. And we're saying, don't think I'm crazy when I tell you this. Oh my God, who's the one with the problem, right? We're saying it's crazy. I mean, people would kill to be crazy, right? If that's crazy. So thank you so much for being so brave and sharing your heartfelt story. Anyone else?
Well, I just have to add that I have this amazing therapist who, every time I start a session, or it doesn't matter where in the session we are, I say, this is going to sound really weird. She stops me and she says, or she'll wait till I'm done and she says, why was that weird?
Thank you.
And that has been really helpful.
This goes up to that limited beliefs that we were talking about earlier. You know, our language, guys, shapes our experience. And we have to be really careful about our language because it's our truth, right? There's just not enough time in the day. Anne-Marie and I were talking about those beliefs earlier. So I know this sounds stupid, you know. So yay. Okay, anyone else? Yay.
I mean, you do occasionally run across people who I was sharing with a very good friend of mine all about going to see a meeting after my friend died. And I got completely done and she was like, I don't really believe that stuff, do you? You might as well hit me with a frying pan on both sides of my head. So
What did she say? I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I said there are people, friends, who their whole friendship with you changes because they can't accept this.
Here's the truth. You wouldn't be in this room today. Susan Sawyer sought a medium, and it was Nan O'Brien. Nan O'Brien is my teacher, told Suzanne, you got to go see my go-to girl for grief in Burlington. Suzanne, 2 years ago, traveled up to Burlington, and in the reading with me, I said, you're going to do a big event. She doesn't know this yet, or maybe she doesn't remember it, but you're going to write a book. You're going to help people transition through the process of grief. You help many children through this process. So 2 years later, I'm here in front of you. I mean, you know, so we can say, I don't believe in psychics and mediums, and I've had many experiences with good, bad, and different, and I've trained with good, bad, and indifferent, okay? So I don't want to go there around that energy, but for that one truth, she sought out, we wouldn't be here. So you can call that divine, because you're all here, and I love that. Okay.
I got the message from my son, and I think I've had a little bit of this conversation already, but what he was really confirming for me was he really loved your statement, love and appreciation are the highest vibration. And when I've been through, but I've experienced that at one point briefly, not too long ago, but he, you know, not to worry, like the man in the video, the black man who had built the big building, but remember he said it's such a burden that I make myself because I promise these things. And the message from Dan isn't about, for me, it's just about, that's right, Mom, do whatever, he's just cheering, whatever helps you feel that love and appreciation, then there's nothing more you even need to do. Like, it will just, don't worry about what building or what you're going to do or if you're going to, that's it, Mom.
Yeah.
That's it, Mom. He just kind of was confirming.
You know, I remember that walking out of my grief and thinking, I used to say Isla was my ace in the hole. So I am wired happy. It's kind of annoying. People get around me and go, oh, she's so happy. Okay, I am. But after my daughter passed, I was thinking, how am I ever going to walk happy again? Because she was my ace in the hole, okay? And the truth is, I really wanted to be happy again, but I didn't do it for me. Excuse me, that's totally wrong. I did it for her just as much as for me. Because what a beautiful stamp on her life if she's looking down at me to say, and she's happy. Okay, because think about what you would want for your children. You just want them to be happy. And we all said that as mothers or grandparents or husbands and wives, right? Well, I just want you to be happy, you know? So why wouldn't they want that for us? So I do feel led to share with you a visit I had from my daughter. It was in the very beginning of my grief. And I want to explain, because I think it's important for people to know who haven't had that connection yet, what the difference is. And we started talking during the conference, and I was like, oh, I want to mention that. How do you know when it's a visit? Okay, I want to take you there for a little bit. The way it's been explained to me when a visit happens is you're dreaming. First off, when you enter the cognitive state, hypnotic state, whatever it is that when we get into dream world, we leave our bodies every night. Thank God. I need a break, okay? So we fly out and we spend all our time out in the universe making all those beautiful connections linearly to things and experiences of the past, and we work through the stuff we're working through now. Okay, so we're never really resting, okay? So in that space of being out one day, what happens when you're visited is you're just having a dream. You'll call it a dream, okay? And in my dream, I was in the hospital serving people food. And I turned around, and this is so for many of you in the room. I don't know who you are, but my daughter just stopped me and said, don't forget to tell this story, okay? So I turn around, and there's Isla in the hospital. And when I saw her, another reason you know it's a visit, you know they're gone, okay? So there's no denying it. It's not like, you're alive, okay? You know, it's not that. It's like, you know, it has different energy. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's like, you know they're gone. What's that?
Like you feel like you're keeping it a secret to yourself.
Because it's that moment in time. But let's put it this way. There's no denial that you're seeing them, and there's no like energy around, they're still alive, okay? You know they're gone. That's when you know it's a visit. So that field is just crystal clear. So in the space, I looked and I was like, time, okay? So I sit down really quick. And this, again, I wrote it all down. I remember it like it was yesterday, because that's another reason you know it's a visit, right? You can't forget it, okay? It's infused. So I look at her and I go, oh, God, can we talk? She sits on my lap, but she says this first. I have to put this on so they don't see me. I have no idea what that meant. But she came back in a complete white robe, and she covered herself in it. I read years later that the robe, you know, we see angels and the robe and all this, and I don't know, but my sense is that she had to come down and had to go through some dimensions to get there. So she was still in transition and had to cloak herself so that they couldn't see. I don't know. Those are her words. I just have to cover myself so they don't see. I don't know who they is. I don't care. So in she sits on my lap, and I'm looking at her. I mean, my God, I know I'm already doing the work helping mothers grieve. So I got like seconds with my daughter, and I want the questions answered. So the first question I asked her is, what was it like when you crossed over? She said, Mummy, and I shared this with you earlier, it actually took me a while to realize I was gone. I go, okay, question 2. Move on, right? Did you come here with your grandmother? She says, no. No one comes here alone, but I did not come with Grandmom. She came here her own way. We all choose how we get here, Mom. I chose a train, okay? I'll tell you what that means later. And then the last one, I said, how old are you now? She said, there she is. I'm 11 for you now. Next year I will be 2. I've already chosen that. And then she made me look down a hallway much like that. She goes, whew. And I went. And when I looked to look where she was looking, and when I looked back, she was gone. Okay? I was sitting straight up in my bed like this. Okay? Up. And joy. Who mentioned it earlier? Whew. Okay? Just pure joy in that visit with her. Got up, write it down, people. You know, had to get all the notes and the rest of it. Okay, so it took me a couple weeks to process, okay? So I'm just going to go through the way it's been explained to me. How did you get here? It took me a while to recognize I was gone. We're in a physical body, we're not, okay? Why are they all crying? What's the problem here? My God, everybody, hello, can you see me? I'm right here. You know, I really do think it's like that. I think that if you're sick, especially if you died of cancer, I've worked with spirits who, there was one gentleman, and don't get upset when I say this to you, in his situation, he was so tied to his physical body. He fought cancer for 2.5 years. He was kind of tied to it. He wanted to live. So I was working with the mother, and he was still very much trying to realize that he was gone, okay? And he did. He figured it out, and he found the light, and he's gone now. But at that moment when I was working with her, he was still very much in his body. And it's tied to his body. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What was the second one? Oh, how did you get here? And she says, I chose a train. This is important that you know this. They're not going to come through and be like, you know, this wise Buddha. You know, if they weren't, the spirit stays in their own energy. When my daughter comes through, she happened to be very sarcastic. Okay, so when I'm crying, and she pulls through sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God, and I hear her, and she's really she can be bitchy, okay, with me, okay? She'll go, oh my God, Ma, you're killing me. get over it. You know, she actually uses those words, but she's very sarcastic. And I usually get into a fight with her because I'm like, oh, no, because I know her energy. So she doesn't become a different energy. She's the same energy. That's who she was in spirit, and that's who she's going to be. Okay, it's who she was in physical. So in that place, they're telling us we choose how we get there. Think about that. We choose how we get there. We do. Your road and my road are different. I don't know how you're getting to heaven, but I'm hoping I'm taking a skyrocket. Okay, so we all choose how we get there, and everyone's life is separate. I was comforted by the fact that I thought she died with her grandmother. You know, that's what they say at the funeral. Oh, at least they're together. Oh, yeah? I wish I was with her. Okay, so I get that. That's my stuff. Okay? And the last one was really important, and actually Nan O'Brien helped me with the last one. Okay? I'm 11 for you now. Next year I will be 2. What did that mean? Okay? Took me a couple more weeks to figure that one out. And here's what she was saying. When I asked Nan, I said, I can't get the last one. I can't figure it out. She's 11. She would have been 10 in my dream 2 years later. She was going to be 11. I'm 11 for you now. Next year I will be 2. Next year I will be also, not TWO. Okay? So Nan gave her the sarcastic answer and said, Mom, not 2, the number, 2 as in also. So the point is, on the linear thing, is that, and we can have that conversation about time, right? Don't we age them? Oh, she'd be 15 now. I mean, this year, when my daughter's 15th birthday showed up, I was bawling to my boyfriend, I don't even know how old she'd be. Help me. Because I had somehow forgotten. And he was panicking, trying to look it up and do the math real quick, because I was all in my head about how old would she be now. Okay? Oh my gosh, my stuff. Because when I see a 2-year-old, have you seen people that look like your loved ones? Oh my gosh, let's talk about that. I turn around, I see my daughter. I'm like, if she was missing, I'd be grabbing her. Okay, because that mother just stole her from me. Okay, so I'm on my way to go get her, and then I get closer, and the face goes, and it pops into who that little girl really is. Okay, that's divine. That is so true. Sometimes you see people who have the energy of your son, of your loved one, and you're like, oh my God, it was like seeing him from the back. Divine, people. So do you grieve in that moment? Are you mad? Are you angry? Are you upset? Does it ruin your day and you have to go home? Is it a trigger? Or is it, thank you, comfort? Okay, as hard as it is, say thank you, because they're showing up in their own way to go, I'm right here, silly. Okay? So the linear thing of time really is our stuff. She's 11 for me now. She will be next year. She's already chosen that. Is because time is time here in linear, but it has nothing intuitive is linear.